Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's do a complete beginner's guide for Dorfromantik, shall we? This is a super chill, relaxing puzzle game that you can just try to build up your high score, build up as big of a kind of map as you can, and rake in the points. The objective is to score as many points as you can by surviving as long as you can, and we're going to talk about how to do that. In this tutorial, I'm going to fire up a brand new game, just like you are purchasing this for the very first time. We're going to go do the tutorial, and we're going to play through it and then play into our very first level together so that you can understand the basics of the UI, the controls, some tips and tricks and strategy that I learned as I streamed the game for the first time from other players, from my own trial and error, and some things I read on guides on Steam to kind of provide you with a nice comprehensive guide to the game so that you can understand some of maybe that more, not necessarily hidden, but obscure mechanics and really enjoy this game. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to tell you the perfect strategy to min-max, but just give you the basics. So let's start up a brand new game. Now, when you boot up Dorfromantik for the first time, for some reason it did this for me anyway, it brings you to this screen and it says resume, which was confusing because I had never played before, but do not be alarmed, that is, pretty normal. And if you ever want to go back and do the tutorial again, because maybe you haven't played in a while and you want a refresher, you can get to this by going to your games and then going all the way to the left and doing the tutorial. Now, I am starting with a completely clean account, so I've reset all progress so that we can unlock the different tiles together. So we're going to do the tutorial, and we're going to restart it, and here we go. So it says, click and drag the left mouse button to move the camera, or you can use WASD, and either one works just fine. Click and drag the right mouse button to rotate the camera or use Q and E. While hovering over the background, that means any hexagonal tile that's not illuminated. So this kind of like oatmeal color in the back, you can just zoom in and out with the mouse wheel, or you can use X and C. In Dorfromantik, you build landscapes out of hexagonal tiles. Click on one of the empty tile slots around your world with the left mouse button to place the top tile from your tile stack. So in this game, you have this big stack of tiles that you're going to be placing from, and you will always see this in the bottom right, and you only can place the top tile. So you don't necessarily know what's going to be happening beyond. Right now we can see 3 different tiles, and it's a surprise. You don't get to kind of like cycle through them. You can only play what is on top, and you can only put down the tiles where you see a kind of off-white or cream-colored hexagon that's empty. So if I move my mouse and point it over one of the empty hexes, you can see that I'm going to drop the top tile from the deck in the bottom right to whichever one of these that I like. And I'm just going to put it right here. While hovering over an empty slot, use your mouse wheel on the R or the R and F buttons on your keyboard to rotate your tile before placement. So if you're pointing at the background, you zoom, but if you're pointing at a tile and you have your tile from the tile deck selected on the map and you use the mouse button, you rotate it, and it rotates it both on the main landscape map and then over on the bottom right. And it now tells you that you can form groups of elements like forests or villages. And this is the kind of main puzzle mechanic of the game, is matching up these different borders of the hexes. So we can place them next to each other and connect their colored edges to form a forest spanning 5 tiles. That's what we're trying to do. And the connected groups will light up. So in this case, I'm going to kind of rotate this and show you that as I rotate this tile, you see how once I connect these fields together, that the other hex lights up. And if I rotate the field away to the empty meadow tile, then this tile with the field kind of loses its illumination, and that's because it's not matching. The green borders are showing you this is where the forests are. So it's saying, hey, on these edges of the hexagon, this is where the forest would be, and I want you to combine this to 5 tiles. Now, some more important bits about this. You see this part, I'm just going to put it like this. So the bottom portion of this hexagon that is facing the cream-colored empty hex has no green illumination, and that's because even though there are trees there, the edge is actually considered a meadow. There is nothing there. But this edge that has a few forests is a forest. So you kind of need to learn the tiles, and you can, if you want, really zoom in to see that and be clear about where the borders are. And this is going to be important for us. Now, while we're placing these, just understand that this is a relaxed and chill game. You are never in a rush. You can take your time. You can save the game at any point and just kind of leave and pick it up where you left off, or just, restart the whole puzzle if you don't like how it's going. So that is an important element that I want to discuss, but I also want to talk about how, you see where he placed this tile that has some fields and meadow. Then it expanded our potential tiles that we can place by adding any border around this, and you just continue growing the map in these directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, the next tile that's below this on the stack, which I could see, has some houses, a field, and some forests on it. So we're going to get forests that we can build to. So let's go for that. Now, if possible in this game, something that you're always trying to do is match borders. So I'm going to match this border right here of the meadow and leave, yeah, I can't do this in a very sophisticated way where I match like this. I'm going to just match this border and then leave these 4 forest green edges that you can see on the different sides exposed to connect them to. I'm going to place this down here. Now I have another tile that I can place. And you see how when I match up the forests, all of the trees illuminate throughout to show the contiguous swath of trees that I'm building to form this large forest. So they want us to span 5 tiles. So this would count as 2 tiles. And you can see that it goes all the way. And what this would do is allow me to place this here. And now all of the green edges are forests, and anywhere where there's that glowing green, I can place a new forest tile and match that up to try to meet this objective of a forest spanning 5 tiles. This is a huge part of the game also, which is completing these quests or objectives that they give you to help score points. Now in the tutorial, this isn't really a traditional quest. It's just showing you some mechanics, and we're not really scoring points. We're just learning the game. So I am going to rotate around using Q and E to kind of just take a look at this and see if I like the placement. And I don't like this placement because now, even though it looks like there's a tree on the very edge by that house, the edge with the house is considered a city or urban or housing tile, and we need it to illuminate and match like this with the forest so that all of the forest is glowing. So I'm actually going to put it just like that. All right. And now we have another tile that has some forests, and I could put it like this, and this will be 3 tiles of forest. Now, if I place this right here, where the tile that I have it will end the forest in this kind of, let's just orient it like this, in the northern direction, because I have a forest on one edge, a house on another edge, meadow on 2 edges, and then a forest on the upper 2 edges. So this is good for continuing and helping me make 5 tiles, but it will stop it right here. If I place it like this, however, I get into a situation where I can continue. Now, the consequence, though, of doing that is I am not matching all sides on every tile correctly. If I put this here, it will finish, but I will be matching the meadows up on that central only meadow tile. I'm going to put it right here. Now I have a big forest tile, And I could take this, and I just need to rotate it until we start seeing, yep, there we go, like all of these forests light up. And you could see that there's 3 forest edges and 3 meadow edges on this hex. And you'll just learn these by sight, but you see the lighter grass? Those are meadows, and then the darker grass under the trees are the forests. And so even though it might look like the trees kind of spill over on different angles, they are not. So if I put this here, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles, and one more will give me 5 right. Is this good enough? Yes. Okay. And it tells you the tile counter in the bottom right shows you the amount of tiles in your stack. Once it reaches 0, the session ends and you can't get any more points. And we're going to place 3 tiles to continue. Now, that might tell you, oh, okay, well, I got 94 tiles left to place and make points. However, as we're going to learn, there are ways to actually earn tiles back so that we can continue playing beyond just what that says and make that number actually go up. So I'm going to, just kind of zoom in, keep it zoomed in, and now we're just going to try to make some matches. And let's see, this tile, I could do this, and that matches 2. That's not great. What about... Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do that. 1. Okay. I can't quite match the houses the way I want. You see how they start glowing when I do match them? This is not a perfect match on all edges, but especially in the tutorial, I'm over-obsessing about trying to make perfect matches, and you really don't need to do that. So what we could do is just kind of flip this. It's not bad. And remember, you see the dirt at the bottom edge of the tile under the house where it's brown? That's really helping you see clearly the definitive edges. I'll put this here, and I can match this house like so. And I'm just building out. I'm going to zoom way out. You gain tiles by fulfilling quests indicated by the speech bubbles. To complete this quest, add at least 5 additional houses to the colored edges. So you see now, this tile actually has a quest, and this is called a quest tile because it has a quest associated with it, with the kind of cardboard bubble that's up at the top. You can see it on the tile stack in the bottom right, and you can see it on the tile I'm about to place. This wants 5 houses, and you see how if I try to put this down here, the dialog bubble turns red with an X. That means if I put this here, I cannot complete the quest because there's not enough houses touching. So what I need to do is maybe put it over here, and you see how when I connect it, it says 4. But the idea about this is, and this tricked me at first when I was learning the game, it's not edges of houses, it's number of houses. So sometimes you'll have more densely packed houses on the edge, and it will count as more houses connecting. So right here, this is 1 house connecting to 1 house, and that gives us credit from the 5 that we need to go down to 4. I could put this tile here, I just won't be touching any existing houses, and I'll need to get to 5. I could put this here, and you see how this does not close the quest because it leaves this opening on the edge of the tile with the house that I could connect more to. Same thing over here. So I'm actually going to put it here because it matches 2 edges. It matches the house at the kind of northwest edge, and then on the northeast edge of this hexagon, we have a meadow matching. So I'm going to left click and put that down. And now, if I want to put this down, you see how there's a red edge right there? We need to keep this going, and the red edge is telling us, well, you need to connect 5 contiguous houses to that. This tile will not do that. It will not help us do that, so we can put this somewhere else and just try to, do something different with this tile, which we will. Now, this tile has a bunch of houses on it, so we can put this down, and we don't finish the quest, but we will be able to continue by connecting houses to the red edge, as you see. Let's see here. It's open. There we go. Now, I believe that the edge is red because houses are considered red, as are in the dialogue bubble. Trees are green, and the icon represents what color the edges will turn. Now, this tile up here, if I would have put it over here, it would have closed the loop and not allowed me to get another contiguous red edge, which is why it closed the quest, because you see it's only one house on each side. But this hex has a house here, and a house here, and a house here. Now, when I place this guy, I can put it anywhere to match it up, and immediately we will get credit for completing this quest. And you see how there's a check mark on the bubble there, meaning you did it, you completed it, and you get the reward, which is points for completing a quest. It says, here's another one. Connect 3 fields to the quest tile. Now, the symbol in the corner of the speech bubble hints to a follow-up task. So the trick about some of these is it wants exactly a number of fields. So if I put this here, this will be 3 fields because I have 1 on each edge, and then 2 on the tile kind of to the southeast here. If there were more fields and you went above 3, then it would not work because it's too many fields. So sometimes you really have to pay attention to like, okay, well, how many fields exactly do I need? Now, if I put this here, I will ruin this meadow tile from being a perfect tile, but that's okay because I'll complete the quest and this is just the tutorial. Completing this quest spawned a flag, as you can see there on the map, which indicates its group can be closed to gain extra points and tiles. This field group is closed when it cannot be expanded anymore. Hover over a flag to highlight the remaining open edges. You see this is a field, so the yellow is the border, so red for town, yellow for field, green for forests. Okay, so now the other thing that this doesn't tell you now, that I learned by reading on Steam, was that if you close a group, it also resets the quest counter. And what this means is, like, the quests get progressively harder as you go. So it'll be like, at first, 5 fields, and then 7 fields, and then 15 fields. Or whatever, I'm just making those numbers up to indicate that it increases. And it can get huge. But if it gets so unwieldy, one benefit of closing out is that you reset that and you have less requirements for your quest. So that's another element to this. And it's just part of the decision making. So if I were to, put this edge right here, I would start closing it out because the fields would be bordered by meadows. So, let's go ahead and do this. 1. And I'm just going to keep closing this out. Two. 3. This will close it because this is the end right here. And then 1 more. Here we go. Oh, I gotta place something here too. I wish I could get a better tile than this. There. Nah, they're not. I kind of want the perfect tile. I'm being greedy. This isn't bad. This will finish it. But it's not the best tile. I'm just going to do it to finish it, even though this is not a great tile. Train tracks and river tiles have placement restrictions. Their ends cannot lead into different types of tiles. Invalid spots are marked with a red cross as a visual help during the tutorial. So, if I put this down, it's got meadow sides, and it will automatically rotate itself where so that you can't even, you see how I'm trying to rotate it right here? It won't let you rotate it otherwise because you can't end it into a city or a forest or something. There are specific tiles that have terminal spots for railroad tracks, but this has to allow for a track to continue. So if I place this here, it actually borders 3 meadows, great. And then now all of these tiles that are red X's is where train tracks need to go. Train tracks and river tiles have placement tile restrictions. And here, I can't place the river tile here because, I'm sorry, red X's are not only where train tracks need to go. Red X's are, in this case, where the river tile cannot go, because we're talking about the tile that's on the stack. So I could put this here, for example, if I wanted, but I can't put it here because there's no orientation that would not make the river dead end into something else. So I'm going to kind of just drop it over there. And then now I have an interesting one that has train tracks and river. And I'm just going to put it like this. I like that. Every time you place a tile, you gain points according to how well it fits its neighbor's edges. Collect 100 points to complete the tutorial. So now we're talking about actually getting points and moving closer to the game itself. So once we get into the point scoring mode of the game, you see how when I mouse over, it's showing you how many points I'm getting based on the edges. And the edges that do not match are red, and the matching edges glow. So this is just meadow, and I actually don't have a lot of meadow, but this one, here we go. This is double. So I get a forest and a meadow match, and I get 10 for each, so 20 points. This has 2 fields on it, so I can place this. There's not a great place for it, is there? I mean, I could put it here and get 10 points, and then now we have a railroad. And we could put it here. This will give us 20 points. And we have a bunch of houses. There we go. And this will give us 20. There's not a way to get a ton from that. What about up here? Can I get any more? Not quite, huh? 20 is fine. And we need 30 more points. This guy is a bunch of forest and houses. So we can kind of put it like this. Or we could... Nah, that's not very good at all. There's 20. And one more will do it. Right there. So now we have 100 points. If all 6 edges of a tile match its neighbors, it counts as a perfect placement, granting additional points and 1 extra tile. So they've given us the perfect tile. And you see how when I place it, every single edge is white. So this means that when you're matching it, you are getting a perfect tile match. And this gives you extra points. So I'm going to put this here, and you see we get perfect, plus 60. And we've unlocked the windmill, and they want us to start the game. Okay. So now we're in our very first game, and there are a few things about the UI that we want to talk about. The upper left is the menu. The upper right is our score with the crown, and then there are 3 little objectives down here that we are trying to kind of work toward. Not actively, it's just something that will happen as we go. Down at the bottom right, this is 40 tiles left in our stack, and this is the ultimate... They didn't even explain this, but the undo button. This is super useful. You can go back 1 tile, and there are benefits to this. If you misplace, you don't have to stress about it. If something you thought, like you're learning the game, if an interaction you thought was going to happen, like you were going to complete a quest or you didn't realize you'd boxed yourself in, push U or click that to undo. It also has another benefit of allowing you to kind of see an extra tile on the stack to know what's coming if you want to play that way. And let's just work. And you see this is a quest tile, 5 trees at once. I'm going to zoom in. Right away, I'm connecting 2 meadows, the white border, and it's not telling me how many points anymore, sadly. We just have to kind of learn these things. It's going to give us 10, though, for that border. And there we go. And next tile is forest, and this will actually complete it. And how will that complete it? 5+. Remember, as I said before, it's not edges or tiles that number is referring to. It's referring to number of trees. So in this case, so there's so many trees that we already completed, and we have 2 matching edges. So this is an ideal placement for that. Now I'm going to zoom way out on the map. Sometimes on the map there are tiles with a question mark that you want to kind of build out toward, but right now we don't see anything like that. This tile is a river tile, and it's telling you wherever you place this, be careful, because you're going to need to remember that you have to place rivers next to this. So one strategy I read about online that was kind of nice about rivers and tracks is to have them going around the borders of your map. But for now, we don't really have that luxury, so let's just build it over here. And I'm going to continue my forest like so and try to make it in an ideal placement. This is great. Now, why am I doing this? You're doing this, or at least I like doing this, is because it makes sense to group your stuff together, your forests, your rivers, your houses, your fields, because then when you get a quest, you already have an ideal place to kind of put something down because you've already established a huge chunk of that gathered together. So this is just helping us with trees. So if we get a forest quest, we've already got this contiguous forest with a bunch of trees that we can use. Now here's some houses. This is tough for us to place. I'm going to put it over here. We've got train tracks. So where do we want to put this? I'm actually going to put it right here. I'm going to match up the houses. And no, I don't want to put it like this. I want to kind of edge this away from my settlement. You see how this has a 3+ train track quest. So now we have 2 quests on the board. So what we're doing is trying to score points. You see in the upper right, we already have 270 points, and we're down to 44 tiles left in our stack. Let's pay attention to how that number fluctuates. So what we want to do is complete quests, but one of the things that I fell into when I first started was thinking that was my only goal. At all costs, I should just, prioritize doing quests. And you should do quests. They're fantastic. But honestly, what's just as important, if not probably more important, is trying to make perfect tiles. So don't just beeline towards quest at the expense of setting yourself up for perfect tiles, because the points that you score from those are going to help you stay alive when you can't complete a quest, when you don't have a good quest happening. Also, speaking of quests, there is no penalty for failing a quest. It looks bad. It's like, oh my god, I get a big red X, I fail the quest. I felt like I'm ruined. All that happens is you lose the opportunity to score those points, but when you fail a quest, it just allows the game to give you another quest sooner. So it's just like, okay, give me another quest instead. And sometimes you need to intentionally just sacrifice a quest and say, there's no way I can do this. This doesn't work for me. I need another one. So end the quest as fast as possible so the game starts its procedure of divvying you another quest. So I'm going to put this here. And look at this. 2 quests. And this is another quest tile for 4+. You can stack these quests together. You see how this is a 4+ railroad quest? If I put this railroad tile here, you see how all of the quest numbers went down. So these were both +2, and this was +4. If I put this here, I am matching track tile edge, and all of these are going down because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 track tiles, or 3 tiles connected. So this is not about edges, this is about tiles. And I'm going to put this here. There we go. And now I have a field tile. So this wants 5+. So we have to be sure to put this in a place where we're opening up so that we can have these field edges exposed. And look at this placement. This is perfect on 2 sides, on the town and the meadow. And it allows the town that we've been kind of building up also to continue down on the southwestern edge. So I'm going to place that. We have some more forests. Let's go ahead and this is a 3-edge match. You can see all 3 edges are white. Just rotate around to be sure of that, but this is all 3 forests matching there. Perfect, plus 30 points. So we did see the plus 30 jump up. The idea is you'll see the points when you place it. I think in the tutorial the difference is it was showing us the points preemptively. It doesn't do that here, where like it's not telling you you're going to score 10 points, but once I place it, that number will pop up. If I don't like the number that pops up, click undo, put it somewhere else. Now I'm going to put this in such a fashion that I connect these fields like so, and I leave edges for towns there. So now that went down to 3. Why did that go down to 3? Because these fields are touching across the tile. This edge is touching. You see how they're touching down the middle? I know there's a gap there for the farmers to walk or whatever, but they're touching. And now I only need 3. So I've got several quests. Now this little lake tile, this counts. And you'll see how it changes its configuration. This counts as a river. If you connect it to a river, you can put this here, and that's fine. But if you connect it, you see how it becomes just a big wide river. And I am going to do that. There. Train tracks. Ooh, we got it. Look at this. If I put this right here, I end this. But I don't like how severely that hooks back. I'm actually going to put this down here in, like, how do I want this? I'm going to zoom out and look at this. Yes, I like this. I'm going to have my track going over to the right, like so. We completed 2 quests. Look in the bottom right. Each of those quests gave us plus 5 tiles. So you see how we're back up to 47 tiles in our stack. So the tutorial explains a lot, but it does not explain everything. I didn't know that when I first started playing, but that's what's going to keep you going. Getting points, completing quests, you're going to keep filling this up. So now we can play for even longer. And let's see, can I match this well? This is a 3-tile match. This is... if I'm moving counterclockwise, this is house, meadow, house. And this is phenomenal. I definitely want to put this here. I could put it here. Match 2. But if I can match 3, even better. Plus 30, fantastic. This is all forests. So I actually don't have a great place for this because a lot of these forest areas have meadows, but if I put it here, I am good. However, the river is going to need to be coming at it. That's okay, though. I am going to put it there. Now we've got this, which is field. And do I have a good place for this? This is a meadow edge. It's not a house edge, even though it looks like it. I'm going to put this right... I'm going to go for this. Okay. Now we've got houses that need a buddy. And this is... I like this a lot. Now notice how all of the houses light up. Not that house over by the 1 wheat quest or the 1 field quest, because it's got a big meadow in between it and the other houses. What you're looking for to know if they connect, if like that house on the edge would constitute as being connected, is the dirt road underneath connecting across the tile. That tells you that those edges do connect. So this is a 3 match. I'll place it, 30 points, wonderful. Now, this is not an exact one, so I could put this here, I could put this here. Anywhere that I put this, it's going to light up these fields and help us connect. This match is 3 but not 4, so I'm going to be greedy, and I'm just going to put this going out this way. And we completed the quest 5 tiles back. There we go. Now, this icon means 5 exactly. It does not like this because this is more than 5. So we can't drop this here. Even though this is such a good match, we would fail the quest because it's too many. So when you get a quest like this, what you need to do is just find another place to start building some fields. So I'm going to just drop it over here. Now look at this guy. This dude wants 111 trees, but that seems crazy, but look at that. I've been building up this forest, so if I put this right here, I get 2 edge matches, and all of these count to complete the quest. 46 plus 5, well, 46 minus 1 plus 5 is 50. This one wants 170. I don't finish it, but now I only need 15 if I place it here. But do I want to place it here? Is there a better place for me to place it? This is not the best. Can't put it here because of the river. So you'll see if you can't place a tile somewhere, you see how it stays that kind of oatmeal color and it has the X? It doesn't have the red X like the tutorial, but it's can't put it there. The white X means no. And I'm going to put it like this. This is, well, am I? No, I'm going to circle back like that. Okay. This, if I place it, will finish our water tile. If I put this here, unfortunately, it needs a forest edge, so it doesn't work. I could put it here, but then again, I'm going to just instead do this. There's a quest. There's 5 more tiles. This wants 12 fields, but not exactly. I could have more. So we could start to put this guy down and, you know, work up this way towards our forests if we wanted. Boom. This one, this will complete our tree quest, but no. I'm going to put it like this. No, I don't have a double forest. Oh, it gets diabolical, doesn't it? This is every other edge is forest. So to do something like this, we need to put it in an area that was not perfect if we wanted to complete this quest. Or, look at that. 3 tiles matching. Boom. It works towards this quest. It completes that quest. And I could dead end this. You see this lake? It can become a dead end to the river if I wanted to. Or I could connect it over here. Either way, it's going to dead end it. And I actually like this. I'm going to put it right there. Boy, this is an interesting one. This is 2 matches, and we need 3 fields exactly. I like it. I could also put this here and work on these fields. It's only 1 field, so it's not super exciting, so I'm just going to put it there. This is train tracks, so this will complete our train quest and allows us to keep zipping out. However, I'm going to put it up here, even though it does bend back because it matches the houses. There we go. Completed another quest. See how we were hovering in the 40s? Now, as we start popping off with a lot of points and a lot of quests, we're up to 58. Where do I want to put this one? This is really good. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 matching edges. This wants 4, but 4 exactly. So if I put this here, it works now. And what's important to note about this is that this will not be a perfect edge if I do it, unfortunately. But if I put this here, I'll complete the quest, and then it doesn't matter retroactively if I put more water against it. It will count and be gone, so we can just take it. It will ruin the perfect edge on one side, but I'm actually okay with that. We got the quest. And now we have a big rail that we can put in. And this is great. Put it right there. Now we just need 3. I'm going to go ahead and drop this one. There isn't a perfect way for me to make this happen. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put it like that. Another rail. This way. 4 exactly, so this is too much water. Oh, and we got a flag to tell us to end the quest right here. Okay. So, well, we'll have to start a new river. if we want this to happen, which we could certainly do. Where do I want to put this? I don't mind putting this out here. This wants 15 fields. This is strange, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4 match. You see here that there's actually just this little teeny bit of meadow, and the windmill counts as meadow on that edge. So this would help all of our quests. You see how that's 4+. This would go down 1, and we would get 4 perfect edges. So I'm going to place it, and now we have 2 field quests. And this is again what I was talking about just grouping things together. Now, of course, if you're a veteran of this game, if you're a person who is a very, very high scorer, I am not playing perfectly. I'm just kind of explaining things and enjoying the game, and not thinking for all, like, I'm not taking 10 minutes on each move, which you could do to optimize. I'm just kind of trying to move it along. But if you have suggestions for better tile placements, or things that would help, or any tips you want to share, that would be awesome. Please put those in the comments below. So this will take us... Ooh, this one's exactly 19. This is going to be... I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I didn't see that quest, but that's okay. This one's just plus. So this is 3 match. I'm going to put it there. And we got a perfect tile. You see that? Plus 60. This one's 4 exactly. We can only match it going this way. That's fine. Not quite. Not quite. Almost. However... Nah, not even here. That's not ideal, is it? I'm going to go ahead and just put it here. Now, this one is much better for putting in a spot like that. Well, no, not quite either, huh? Now, these are tough ones. There we go. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This wants 33 houses. If I put this here, I'm at 2+. I mean, I could put this here. I won't have perfect edges, but it will complete the quest. It's so nice. I'm going to do it. Getting perfect on this is tough on houses on every side for us, considering how we've built. So I'm just going to complete the quest and take the points. And be happy about it. The triangle symbol means the flag. It means that a quest will pop up after you meet that to close it. And exact means the number doesn't have a plus symbol next to it. If it's just a number, that means exact. The plus symbol means I'll take that number and over and be fine. This isn't bad. Completed 1. Now they're saying, hey, do you want to close it? Now, I could. I mean, there's advantages to doing that, for sure. So I need 2 fields touching on that tile to place it, so I'm not going to mess with it. It's a weird one. That's cool. Complete that quest. Great. So we completed another quest, and you see we're all the way up to 65. We have 2,000 points. We have several quests that we're working on. Only 2 of them are exact. 2 of them will take surplus. And we even have some objectives to close out the groups if we want. Closing the water group will require a special tile for us to put right here, but that's okay. It's going to be hard for us to make perfect, but we could close this if we wanted to. And remember, oh, here it is. Look at this. Way over here, you see this outline? We want to build towards that to find something cool. So we will do that. And I hope you have found this episode of our beginner's guide to Dorfromantik to be useful. This is going to be a series. I'm going to, keep going and explain things as we score more points and make more combos and expand the map and stuff. But I hope that you have found this to be useful and fun. And if you have any questions about the game, please post those in the comments below. I do read all of the comics. And also, if you are a Dorfromantik expert and you would like to share tips for new players or make any corrections to the advice or comments that I've given, please do so. That would be awesome. I would appreciate it so much, but do so in a way that's not too in the weeds or spoilery for new players so that everyone can understand and follow along. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take care.